If I told you that I was a baby boomer of the baby boom generation, I said, "What's your generation?" What would you say?
Probably not quite a millennial, not like close to a millennial. I guess.
You think you're close to a millennial?
Yeah.
When you say you're close, are you too old, or do you think of yourself as too young?
I think I'm too old because I was born in like the 80s.
Millennials, in this calendar year, the youngest is age 21 and the oldest is age 36.
Oh, okay.
Do you fall in that range?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I do.
Well, I think I'm the very edge of it, so I'm 34, so 34 to mid-20s probably.
People of this generation.
Okay.
The technology type people.
I think I fall at the older end of the spectrum of the millennial age group. I think millennials get generalized as 25-year-olds who have short attention spans, and you've got to keep them attractive with exciting, fun, flashy things. But I think there is multiple groups within the millennials.
Just like a younger person, like kind of my age.
Kind of like your age?
People aged around 21 to 28 who've grown up as 90s kids who live in a post 9/11 world, who rely on technology and social media.
So I'm a boy.
Yes, you are one.
Oh, there you go. I was way off.
Now, do you ever think of yourself in that context?
No.
I don't really know what that means.
You don't know what...
Know that it's a category of like a generation, but I don't feel like I'm part of it.
36.
Does that surprise you that they're that old?
I know there's a lot of hype about us right now, about what we're doing in the world and how we're either harming society or making society better depending upon who you talk to.
Okay.
They kind of have a bad rap just because like they grew up with like more technology than other generations, so like they're kind of seen as like addicted to like their phones. I mean, look at me, like I'm like charging my watch, my pad, my phone, but like
that's an that's the Apple Watch, isn't it?
It's LG.
Yeah.
I think they're creative. I think the millennial is brought up on being creative and following those creative ways and getting outside of the normal box of doing things. They're brought up in the technology, right? So they're thinking about new ways to do things. There's more entrepreneurs coming out of the millennial generation.
Actually, we get more of these things between us than the real human contact.
We don't like papers anymore. We like doing everything on the devices.
All right.
Yeah.
Entitlement, lazy, disenchanted maybe, fun seeking.
I guess like the abundance, like we have like more, I guess more tools, like cause before our generation, like like everything was kind of analog.
I suppose I feel like people are losing a good bit of faith in the established structures in the past that used to be more prevalent, I think.
I feel like our generation right now is lazy and big-headed.
Well, they grew up in a time of social media, which is a lot different than a lot of people. And they're currently, I guess, the young professionals, so there's a lot of kind of look to them to see what they're doing and how they'll shape the future, I guess.
Do you guys have kids?
One.
You do have a kid.
Yes, two.
And you have two kids.
She's pregnant with the third.
And you're pregnant with the third. All right. What percentage do you think of your generation as being stressed?
90%.
90% is stressed? At least 90%? You love your work. Do you ever take time out just for yourself?
Pretty much. I'm actually taking time out now.
You're taking time out now?
Yes.
And so you're coming to Starbucks as your place to escape to?
Yeah.
Or how often do you hear your friends talk about the need to chill out?
Pretty often.
Pretty often?
Yeah.
How often do you have a need to chill out?
A lot.
A lot?
I mean, I try to maintain being very chilled.
Oh, you try to maintain being very chilled.
Yeah, pretty much at all times.
At all times? All right, and when you go to chill out, what do you do?
I try to do, I mean, if I'm really stressed, I try to do a lot of nothing.
And when you say that, when you hear yourself saying that, do you actually do something about it?
Usually no.
Usually no? You just deal with the stress?
Yeah.
When you do something about it, what do you do? To chill out.
Well, usually when I say that, I kind of mean that I need to I just kind of need a change of scenery for a little bit.
How often do you hear yourself saying, man, I have got to get away from work and stress and chill out?
It comes up probably once a week.
Once a week?
Yeah. You know, you're just chatting with people. It's like, oh, it's stressed out. You should change something.
How often do you hear yourself saying, man, I have to get away from work and stress and chill out?
All the time.
How often do you say from just day-to-day stress, I need to get out and chill?
Just all the time.
All the time? What do you do when you go to chill out, as we say here?
It depends. I practice a lot of sports, martial arts, gym, just listening to music, chill with some friends, nightclubs, stuff like that.
What do you do to chill out?
Read, reflect, meditate, probably just go on a walk or something, exercise.
Where do you go to do things like that?
Like there's trails like by my neighborhood, by where I live, so like I'll walk those trails, or I'll just go to LA Fitness, or meditation can happen anywhere. My room is okay.
I'm like the only one around me that's kind of like taking life easy right now.
Yeah, most of them are needing to chill out more.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's not like, to me, when I look at it, it's not like something they should stress over it that much, but they're like over stressing.
I like to read. That's usually a chill out kind of thing. So I read a history or a novel.
Okay. Do you ever go anywhere?
Not really. Maybe to a Starbucks or something.
When they relieve stress, what do they do to relieve? They don't?
They don't. That's a fun question. It's not like our parents or our older siblings and cousins. It's not one of those things that kind of get to unplug and just go hang out and do that.
Wait, how often do you hear in your household saying, hey, I've got to get away and just kind of gel? I need to just...
Well, they're really young, so every day. No.
Every day for you as a mom?
No. That we have to get away and chill?
Yeah.
I mean, at least once a week. They're in school, so we feel like we get a break. Yeah, they're in
So
days a week.
when they're in school, you get a break?
This is our couple hours.
And so when you guys have a break, what do you do for your breaks? Come into coffee house?
Coffee, we're going on
Exercise.
a walk.
So you go...
Run our errands.
How often do you hear yourself saying, I have got to enrich my life with seeing, experiencing, and learning new things?
Lately, I've been telling myself that a lot because a lot of people that I've known this year have passed away, and they were very young. So I don't want to live my life regretting things that I know I could have done when I was younger, and then like having to wait till I'm too old to realize that I could have done something about it, or explored, or gone to a new place, or
All the time.
All the time?
Yeah, I'm trying to learn something all the time, like language, or I like to keep myself busy. So my free time to me is kind of not like just sitting on the couch. To me, free time is away from like my work.
Yeah.
So whatever that's not work, like maybe I don't know, sports, or like learning another skill or language, like I said. So yeah.
I love to learn.
You love to learn? How often do you hear yourself say, I've got to enrich my life with seeing, experiencing, and learning new things?
I would say often.
Often? More often than chilling out?
Yes.
Do you often hear yourself saying that? I need to enrich my life with seeing, hearing, and experiencing new things.
Pretty much, I often want to experience new things. I always want to learn new things. And when I talk about enriching my life, I'm talking about the spiritual side of.
You know, I try in my business to go to events, go to seminars, you know, when it fits into my schedule, to always continuing to learn.
Okay.
You know, the startup that I run is a lot about creating a brand for ourselves. We work with other brands and staying on top of these trends and listening to different perspectives on them. So I try and do that as much as possible.
Okay.
So whatever you do hard. Whether that's going to festivals, going hiking, drinking, staying up late, like it's two ends of the spectrum on that point.
I think we're using the internet and we're using social media and stuff like that more to communicate, more to share things in our life than the people that are older than this age.
I'd probably look it up online because we would go to the outdoors somewhere, so we'd go hiking or something. So I just find out how to get somewhere.
It depends on if you have a kid, then it's probably going to a restaurant, like a patio, and just have some drinks, have some food, relax a little bit, go to a park and relax. If it's just us, we may go out with friends, like go to a barbecue or go out to dinner somewhere.
Mainly online searches, social media, and videos and blogs.
Okay, I would say Google, like online searches. That's number one. And then maybe peers at work.
Peers at work, okay.
Yeah, and parents.
Yeah, I get ideas from friends on social networks like Facebook, Twitter, but you know, Instagram is not, I don't see Instagram on here, but Instagram is a huge way that I see fun things that our friends are doing, and that kind of encourages me to do them. Definitely word of mouth. You know, peers that I work with, you know, I do work out and run, so that is something consistent between me and my husband. We both do that.
Okay.
Our circle of friends is very into running, so that is something common that we always talk about.
Do you use any of those as information sources? Oh yeah, to help you get into that? Yeah, which of those would you say are your top 2 or 3?
I mostly use the internet.
The use of online by your peers and so on is very millennial?
I think so. And then blogs and online is more. And ads too. I mean, ads are just more, well, it's kind of online as well.
Okay.
It became far more accessible. You see so much more.
Blogs, yeah.
Blogs, yes.
Yeah, that's probably a good.
Question for you. When you go to a blog, how much attention do you place on the actual original posting of the blog? And how much attention do you put on whatever is the discourse and dialogue of people who have read it that have then posted?
I'd say probably 80-20.
80% on the original content?
Yeah, I might take the comments. If it's just to go and do something, then yeah. If it's to buy something, probably it's more on the comment side.
Online researches.
Online,
yeah. Friends, but friends, not like on Facebook.
Right.
Human. Parents, yeah.
And parents in that mix as well?
No, I really, you know, they got more experience, they're older than you, they're your parents. If you're asking them for something, for sure they're gonna give you the good advice.
Do you use any of these sources here as resources for ideas of what to do to enrich your life?
Yeah, so I guess Pinterest would be one of those.
Pinterest would be one of those places that you go to?
Yeah, online videos, a lot of tutorials on how to do things, whether it's technical stuff, like how to use Excel if you want to be better at it, or how to build a table. I mean, it's all there. That you don't need anyone. You don't need a mentor anymore, essentially. Blogs, definitely. One of my favorite ones is The Art of Manliness, which kind of teaches you, you know, grandpa's tricks of how to do everything, real elbow grease stuff.
Pretty much, I learned from my peers at work, and I also I share knowledge. Because I'm into the IT industry, and it's a bunch of smart guys over there, trust me.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Like the first 2, like online searches and parents, definitely. I mean, I still rely on my parents a lot when it comes to like making big decisions.
Okay.
I mean, online searches to figure out things to do around here that would be fun.
Yeah.
We go to the mountain sometimes and hike up the mountain.
I maybe publish more kind of baseline information. So this is kind of what you need to know before you get there, so you have an understanding of something before you actually show up and kind of, because in the discovery phase, it's kind of like when you're first learning about something, you have a hard time grasping the entire big picture because you're so many new things. So if you could build a foundation of information and then you can add to it by actually seeing the thing, that's probably what I do.
When you talk to other millennials, younger parents that have kids, how much of that do you do in person or via phone or via online?
Probably half online, half in person.
Half online, half in person.
I don't like the BS going on, like the media and stuff. So I don't really shift over that much or like react to it too much. But sometimes like I feel kind of like maybe I should look at it a little bit.
Do you ever use any of these as avenues to either kind of chill out or to learn and explore new things?
Absolutely. So go to parks when I have free time. Museums and nature centers and things like that. I usually like to explore those when I'm in another city, whether I'm in that city for work or for pleasure, because they've pretty much done all of the attractions here since I've lived here for so long. But these are things that I would do when I'm visiting other cities.
Yeah, parks definitely. We spend so much time in front of screens that there's nothing better than a good sunny day like today. Museums are wonderful. The High Museum in Atlanta is great, and Fernbank is wonderful. Nature Center, Tioga Nature Center, the Dome Nature Center are neat. Those are fun date ideas. Exercise trails. I'm a big hiker. Zoos and animal preserves, that's pretty neat. Yeah, I would love to, if there were more access to them here. I know in LaGrange there is a huge kangaroo park, which would be fun to go to.
Sure, I've gone to a museum in the past year. I've gone to the zoo in the past year. I've gone to the Atlanta, it is the Botanical Gardens, I think, in the past year. And the aquarium. So yes.
I would definitely go to the park, fitness and exercise trails.
I like cultural sites and probably nature centers, maybe. Nature centers and parks, I would say, are kind of like the same to me, I would say. So I like running, so maybe fitness and exercise trails, but I don't necessarily trail running, just kind of like jogging.
How do you rate your friends and peers in going to places like that?
They're A's.
They do use them a lot?
Yeah, they're my friends and peers for a reason because, we have the common interests and the same personal drives.
I'd much rather have this as a way to learn new things and gain new experiences and gain new knowledge versus just going on the internet. I feel like that's canoeing. You can read a blog about canoeing and be like, oh, well, now I know what it feels like to canoe. But there's a difference between reading and experiencing. So I'm just like, why not go out and experience it?
How well would you rate their experiences? That when you go, say, to the zoo, or when you go to the aquarium, or a historical site, or a museum, how well would you rate that in general, in terms of the experience itself once you're there, in being something that millennials can identify with and connect with?
I would say 2.
A 2?
1.5.
A 1.5?
Because, for example, if I go to a zoo, then I see animals and I want to learn more about them. But all I see is that little information board there that I can only read it. I don't want to read it that much. And it would be really good if they add more technology into it so that we don't just need to take a picture of it. I can actually do the NFC thing so that we can tap it and save it in our phone and read it later.
Okay.
Things like that. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe a 3.
A 3, kind of a C.
Some of them do a good job.
Which ones in there do you think do a good job, and which ones in there do a really horrible?
Botanical Gardens here does a good job of that. But a lot of these other ones, they're not really doing much. The zoo and historical sites, cultural sites, they don't really do such a great job.
How well those places reach out
To them, my friends,
to you and your friends?
3, 4.
A 3 or a 4? What would you love to see them do to get it up to a 5?
Get more technology wise.
Get more technology wise?
Right.
Like a 3? A 1?
So I'd probably rate them about a 2 or a 3.
About a 2
I
or
go just because I'm interested and because it's fun, but mostly you see like younger people there and families.
I would say for our age group, probably more like a 3.
More like a 3?
1 is being terrible.
Yeah.
I would say probably. I'd say probably a 2.5, 3.
A 2.5 to 3?
Oh, I would say a 1.
A 1? What are they not doing?
I think a lot of these are stuck on traditional marketing and advertising avenues. So running things like print ad and TV and not doing as many creative marketing aspects. So a lot of them just post on social. They don't have interesting ads on social or interesting videos. They're not hosting events or things that are going to attract millennials. A lot of them are family-based. So they're catering to people that have families.
Okay.
But they're very traditional in terms of their marketing.
If you were hired to help places like this raise their visitation with folks like you, millennials, to get you and your friends to get away more often, what would you do?
I would try to change the misconception that I think history has answered a lot of the questions we have today. And people just think it's a thing of the past, and it's like you have a computer or something, and so therefore everything that came before that no longer has any significance in our world today.
Okay.
That's a really inaccurate viewpoint.
Show them that they can have fun even in doing something for themselves.
Okay. It's a good answer.
Yeah.
So put more fun into the experience.
But I'm an exception. I like to have that personal touch with people.
Okay.
Like talking to people face to face. I don't really like doing like official stuff on computers or something. I would always like talk to people or meet people in person.
I think it lacks the swag. I guess if you will, because what they exhibit there, I don't know, my friends and I always talk about how High Museum, it's worth going there once, just to check it out, but it doesn't feature a lot of features that young people would like the artists and stuff.
They'd be more successful in trying to bring groups of millennials together versus single millennials?
Yeah. Probably give free classes to a certain extent to get you in, and then I would say though make it more interactive and fun and whatever it is. I feel like at least I myself it to be more interactive, whether it's at a park or a zoo or a history site.
Okay.
Just to make more interaction, more engaging, maybe more intellectual than it would be otherwise.
Okay.
Well, they would have to be on social media more, but most people my age, if there is alcohol involved, then they're definitely down with that. I know the zoo sometimes has a beer night, but that's I think it's maybe once a year or something. And that's the only time my friends ever want to go to the zoo.
I like the music downloads customized for the destination or mood and experience, because I know a lot of this generation is into music and pop culture and stuff like that. So something like that would be very dope. If you are sad and you could just touch your phone and your phone would be well, here's a whole playlist because you're sad. That would be really
the on-site real storytelling people, that's kind of strange for a person my age to go to a zoo and hear a storyteller. but to go to a Civil War battlefield and like see reenactors, like that's impressive. Like that's cool.
I like the on-site real people storytellers. When someone can engage you in a story, I think it's better than just reading.
Probably storytellers. I went to a folk festival last year. They had people that really told the story. That was pretty cool. So if they did more things like that.
I really like this because it's kind of like going on like a guided tour of a museum, and like sometimes they'll have like a little like tape deck with like, and it'll just kind of like explain like whatever painting you want to look
Right.
at. Like I think that's what that means.
Yeah, it could be taking your iPhone or your smartphone and just scanning it across, and then listening to it in the, could be on a poster like that.
Yeah, that'd be something.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be something I'd really like. I don't know.
Ability to select guides by personality, because you could be an introvert, or you could be loud and spontaneous and then get like a boring tour guide and just pour yourself out. So I feel like if you have common interests and like somebody that's showing you or teaching you about something that you don't know about.
Storytellers kind of appeals to me. Or the music downloads. One of the music downloads.
It's on-site real people storytellers.
Real people storytellers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Music, because I am like music savvy. I love
So the music would help? Okay.
a lot. And,
Fernbank does martinis kind of thing. So I've gone to that a few times.
Okay.
I mean, that kind of thing is neat.
That's a good suggestion.
And in the, I like to like
Botanical Gardens does.
happy hour type.
Yes.
Like we're not, I mean, rarely do we do that during the day, but like happy hour and evenings, like I've been to tons of, like they used to do zoo nights in London when I lived there, and it was like all adults, and it was so fun.
I think like these things like having like drinks nights and stuff where you kind of engage with it in a different time. That's interesting. That's a good way to bring people in. And then I don't know, just have some more communal kind of aspects, like some socializing or something more, something sort of innovative that brings people in, I guess.
I like that, just like for
real people storytellers.
Yeah, for like reviews, like to hear like people that actually went. Like
I think the first one, the mobile media like guide, that's a must these days. Like, cause these days people don't watch movies or go eat at places just because they want. They need to see the reviews like online. Like how many stars does it have? How many recommendations it has. So I think in order for the museum or whatever the place is, in order for them to help young millennials like step through the door, I think that's a big thing.
Like we get a discount. And really good passes that are really good prices.
Okay.
Selecting guides by personality.
Oh, selecting guides by
How would
personality.
you go about that?
How
Just
would
line them up in a row and say, I picked you?
if let's say that place that hired you said, we heard from other millennials that said they really like to have the ability to select guides by personalities. We want you to help design
it.
it.
App and select a person based on their description.
At that art festival, they brought in some of the top chefs in the area to actually cook up some really cool food in addition to the gallery showing.
Because that's like more our age.
My husband and I would love
Cooking.
You would love that?
Yeah, we would love that.
Because I love art and I love food. And if they had wine too, it would be pretty great.